Hey guys, it's Patrick. It's after work. It's 5:45 in the evening, so as you can see, I'm a little bit held over a little bit today. I did 7 home visits today, which is an absurdly high number. Usually I only do 4, maybe 5, but 7 is quite a bit. I had to leave from home straight to a patient's house to do a home health aid supervision. When the appointment is at 8 o'clock, I can't go to the office first. I have to go straight there, which is kind of difficult for me to do sometimes. And I felt very productive. I got a lot done, but it did not even closely reflect the day I had scheduled for myself. There was a bunch of things that came up as I went, but I got them all done, and I was only held back a little bit after work. Well, almost 2 hours after my shift. That's okay. My boss said I could put it down as overtime this time. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, and today is one of the days when I can, so that's kind of nice. I'm gonna start having meetings at work about the next core course. They're every 6 months or so, and I just got like a syllabus or something from one of the hospitals that we can all go over and work on fine-tuning the presentations and stuff, because everything went on too long last time. And apparently this is Nurses Week, or today's the last day of Nurses Week. This is Friday. So to any of you other nurses out there, I hope you all got good presents for Nurses Week. I myself, today, now that the week is over, I am going to a beer festival of some kind at our local public beach. At least I think that's where it is. It's some kind of big beer tasting festival or something. So, could be fun. See how it is. But yeah, I've been running non-stop today. This is my third coffee of the day. Third large coffee, regular cream and sugar. Should really start doing the half cream and sugar thing, but really needed my fuel to get through the day. I had a large breakfast at like 9 o'clock in the morning, which is good because I haven't gotten a chance to eat anything else all day. Although I have been stopping off for coffees. I guess I could have gotten like a wrap or something at Dunkin' Donuts, but I'm doing just fine just on coffee. But I should probably get something into my stomach before I go to the beer festival besides coffee. I think that would probably be a good idea. Yeah, I don't know what I would do without these little tasty beverages here. The day would be much harder to get through. I'm trying to think if anything interesting happened clinically today. Kind of hard to judge sometimes. It's really hard to abstract my specific encounters with the patients into the things that are interesting for me to talk about without saying something that somebody would recognize, which wouldn't be against the law, but it has the potential to irritate somebody enough to cause trouble for me, which of course has happened in the past. Yeah, I've just kind of been going flat out all day, and I'm very tired. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. But the homework has not been so bad this week in research methods. I have to wonder about some of these assignments. Like, we have these wiki assignments where we can all collaborate on editing a document, And the wiki assignment for this week was to write down one article citation on a particular clinical subject. It had something to do with ACE inhibitors and elderly patients or something like that. And so if there's 3 or 4 people, I can't keep track of how many people are on our team because people keep dropping the class, but I think maybe half of the class has dropped it so far. But if you're going to have a group collaboration project and the only assignment is to write down one reference, how do you split up that work, Didn't even ask us to provide the method that we used for the method that we, what our search terms were, which database we used, I mean, those all seem like good things to put in the assignment, but at the same time, we did this already. There was a information literacy class that we took that they made us take right at the beginning. One of the first classes I took at Sacred Heart was an information literacy class taught by one of the librarians, and you know, I mean, the teacher seemed like a pretty cool guy, and he made a good argument for the importance of librarians, which I'm not going to argue. But it was really just a 8-week, $1,500 class on how to look things up on the internet, and I know how to do that already. And I appreciate, the content on critically evaluating your sources, and what good evidence is versus questionable evidence. I think that's things that a lot of people who talk about things as if they understand them should really learn about, definitely. But it's another review class for me. A 600s level review class this time. That's a first. I think sometime between this week and next week I have to start my own literature review, which is kind of fun. I intentionally picked a research question. I think I talked about this in the last one, so I won't rehash it too much, but I picked a research question that I'd be surprised if I found very much in the literature about, but I'm kind of like counting on that. I mean, that's interesting to me. Like, questions that I've run into that there isn't very much research on is kind of cool. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Been really busy lately. My cell phone's been ringing off the hook, and I'm getting closer to closing on this house, and there's a lot of phone calls involved in that. I'm getting calls from private mortgage insurance companies, and trying to get everything organized, get my finances organized and stuff like that. It's really kind of a hassle. It would be much easier if I made twice as much money as I do now and also paid somebody else to manage my money for me. That would be nice, but no. That is not the situation that I'm in right now. Maybe once I get an advanced degree and a few more years in the field. But the prospect of refurnishing my house is kind of exciting. I'm sort of looking forward to shopping for furniture and getting advice on what to do with the space and what kind of furniture to get and how to arrange things. I'm not looking forward to unpacking my room. I guess in theory it would be good to spread out my belongings throughout the house a little bit more, but I'm not looking forward to cleaning out that room by any stretch of the imagination. It was spotless and clean less than a year ago. Now it's completely trashed again. That's just how it goes. Maybe it'll be different with only me in the house. Or maybe I'll pay somebody to clean it for me. You never know. I'm gonna make my first car payment at the end of this month. Never had to make a car payment. Never got car financing before. But this new vehicle is worth every penny. It's really working out well so far. I've kind of been slacking off on the hypermiling thing. There were a couple of, I'm down to 37-mile range. I'm down to the last little vapors of fuel. When I was like really concentrating and really being diligent about it, I would average 45, 46 miles per gallon, that kind of thing. But I kind of got tired of doing that, and I've just sort of been driving without paying attention. So right now I'm like at 41.1 miles per gallon, which is not too impressive. I mean, I would get that in my 2004 car without too much trouble. But I do enjoy it. I haven't turned off the econ button. There's like an econ button that turns down some of the car's subsystems so they don't draw as much power or fuel or whatever. And the day I drove it off the lot, I just turned the econ button on and never turned it back off again. I should probably read the manual and see if there's any drawback for doing that, if it creates any more wear and tear on the car or something. I don't really know how that works. What kind of changes I should be looking out for. I wonder if I turn off the, I'm sure if I turn off the econ, because I did drive it without the econ when I test drove it. I think if I turn the econ mode off, I'll get a little more acceleration, a little more acceleration, a little faster air conditioning, cooling down, that kind of thing. But I kind kind of like slacked through some calculations about this, and just the fuel costs in my car is something like 10 cents a mile, I think, or 15 cents a mile, something like that. And my mileage reimbursement for work is 51 cents a mile, so that's kind of cool. I get back a lot more. But I can't bring myself to faithfully record my mileage, so I'm getting under reimbursed for that because I can't be bothered to keep track of it, so I just use the chart that I have. I think I'm starting to repeat myself now. Man, I'm really getting boring lately. I don't really have anything interesting to talk about. I've been reading a lot of science fiction novels lately. Lately I've been really into Vernor Vinge. He's a very, very cool science fiction writer. But I seem to have exhausted everything of his I can get through Amazon.com, which is too bad. I wish there were more novels of his for me to read. They were really, really good. I read all of his novels and most of his short stories, at least whatever they had on Amazon. And very good hard sci-fi. It was like hard sci-fi with some genre crossing, sort of. There was like hard sci-fi mixed with cyberpunk, and there was some hard sci-fi mixed with a murder mystery. That one was really good. I don't usually read mysteries, but it was pretty neat. There was some of that stuff. A lot of it was hard sci-fi though, which I really liked. And now that I've read all of those books, I kind of plowed through his whole collection of novels in maybe a week and a half or so. So I'm out of things to read. I read everything by Charlie Stross, Rudy Rucker, Peter Watts, Cory Doctorow, Neal Stephenson, and Vernor Vinge. And now I'm kind of like wondering what to read next. Finally read the Foundation trilogy by Asimov, which has been recommended to me so highly over the years, but I never got a chance to read through it. I got that. And I guess the main factor in me reading so much more now is the Kindle application on my phone, because I can just carry a whole bunch of books with me wherever I go, whenever I got free time, or if I'm waiting in line or something, I can just read a book. It's kind of nice. I didn't read any fiction at all when I was in nursing school. And really, since nursing school, up until recently, I didn't read any fiction at all. And fiction is kind of like what I grew up on, a lot of science fiction and fantasy novels. It's kind of neat to get back into it again. But I am very picky about what I spend my time reading. Like such maniacs on this bridge. The speed limit's like 55. People are doing 80 like easily. There we go. Maybe if I drink more coffee, I'll come up with something interesting to say. Yeah. I sort of imagined that once I settled into a full-time job with benefits and all this other stuff, that I would have more time for leisure activities and hobbies and side projects and stuff like that. When I was working per diem and my schedule was floating around all over the place, I was telling myself that the reason I wasn't doing those things was because my schedule was too chaotic and I didn't have a good routine, and anything that I tried to get into, I'd just have to stop, to make time for work. So I thought that, once I start working full-time, I can fit in whatever it is that I want to do along with my work schedule. And I was just talking to the mother of a friend of mine who's a social worker that I've had the occasion to run into professionally here or there. It was the same experience for her. When she's done with work, she does not want to do anything. And that's really where I'm at, too. I thought I would be going back to Aikido after I got a full-time job, but here it is right now. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. I wouldn't make it to train. And the place where I was going, you have to kind of like call out, like at the job, if you're not going to come, which is for me very emotionally stressful to do. But I do miss doing it. I really want to go back to doing it. But when I'm done with my work day, I'm just so drained. Like not emotionally drained. It is really like more of a physical thing. And it's not the job that I do isn't very tiring, compared to working in the nursing home, I'm either, I'm driving from place to place, and I'm visiting with people in their homes, so it's not like I'm exerting myself very much. But I guess intellectual exhaustion is a better description. My brain is tired. Better to relax and not think about anything for a while. And then, you add homework to that, and then that's pretty much it, I don't really feel like I can do anything else. Here we go. Well, I guess that's about it. I can't really think of anything else to say, so hope you guys are all having a good day and having a good weekend, and I'll probably see you around. Who knows?